Welcome to another xenorific episode of The World Is My Burzino. I'm just burying the bar right now.
Xenophobic episode of The World Is My Burrito.
Oh, no. No, it's not xenophobic.
Well, I feel like that's kind of applicable for this episode.
Well, for
Probably.
some of them. Not us. We're not
Yeah,
no.
not us.
No.
So,
we're welcoming of all
all the Xenos
species.
and all of the morphs. We're here for it.
Yes?
Yeah.
Guys, I'm scared. I think I just saw someone who didn't look like me walk by my window.
Would it have been better?
Yeah.
Would it have been better if it was you that walked by your window?
Yeah.
Guys, I don't want to alarm you.
It just would have been skinwalkers. That's fine.
I walked by
They're
my
coming
window.
in out of the corn.
So if you haven't guessed, I am once again joined by Mike and Zach. I didn't mention it on the last episode. Yeah, sorry for everyone else.
I'm sorry.
I didn't mention it last time, but we did have a video up for episode 6, and this episode will also have a video up. I don't entirely know why you would want to watch this, but if you do, it is going to be on YouTube. I might. Oh, I should probably post a link of all the links I added. I never added that one, but YouTube takes forever to upload. Anyways, yeah. So this week we are talking about Alien Earth, episode 7, Emergence.
It's like a butterfly emerging.
Yeah, just a butterfly coming out of its cocoon, cocoon of evil.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff emerging in this episode.
There's a bit.
Some violent immersions.
Physically, emotionally, mentally, relationship-wise, there's a lot of emergence.
I will I do like the episode names once you get into the flow of what's happening.
It makes sense. Yeah,
they're the light hint at things to come. Who needs a trailer when you have the episode title advertised in advance?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the next one is. I'm pretty sure I know where it's going to go, and I guessed it as soon as I was looking at the episode title. So
is the next one the last one?
We'll see. The next one.
Yeah,
is
the next one's the last one.
No,
maybe series
please.
finale. We don't know.
It's going to feature Tom Hanks
minds.
doing his dialogue about how we're the real monsters from the Burbs.
Wendy's going to come to that realization. That's
Yeah.
what it's going to be.
We're the real monsters.
I just saw. I'm sorry, tangent. I just saw the Burbs for the first time last week. Actually, before we recorded the episode, I think. And
was it because of Red Letter Media?
Yes, it was. I was like, I gotta catch up with some Joe Dante. But, man, what a cop-out. We are the real monsters. 5 minutes later, they're not the real monsters.
Nope, they are actually the real monsters. Spoiler alert for a 30-year-old movie, 30-plus-year-old movie.
I haven't seen it, guys.
Well, too late. Now you never will.
Damn it, Rosebud.
I've deleted all copies and killed Tom Hanks. He can't make a remake.
I am your father.
Wilson. So, and in this episode, I'm a little itty bitty disappointed that more didn't happen. I thought we were going to cover a lot more ground, but this is, I think, one of the best edited episodes. They're like quick cuts. We're doing a lot of work. And the writing, I think, is still baller. Like, I have a lot of notes on quotes or lines, like how people said things.
Real quick before we jump into it, what I haven't really done much watching or listening to other podcasts covering it because we're talking about it every week. But for some reason, another, I'll say, content creator was recommended for the last episode that we talked about, and it's amazing just people's different what you take away from that, because overall I've been very happy with the series. The the different approach that they are taking. Yeah, we've picked it apart here and there. There are silly, stupid things that happen that if you really want to tear it apart, you can. These two content creators pretty much have now turned their thing into tearing it apart. Because I was surprised because all they were doing was complaining about everything. Like everything that happened was stupid or R-word. You know, things that were like a little. I was surprised that they were getting away with it on YouTube saying it. But I sat there and went, really? Am I wearing rose-colored glasses with this? Am I stupid? Am I the pleb? No, these guys are actually assholes. Because I went back and I checked their earlier episodes. They were actually talking fondly about it until they were like in a few episodes, and then they figured out if they started shitting on it, their views and comments went up. So their first few episodes were like, okay, a little bit interaction, but like their fourth episode into the fifth episode, which they said the fifth was the worst episode of the season. That's where they like rocketed with their views and their attention and everything. So I went, so you're just doing this for the money. I mean, good for you if that's what gets you paid, I guess. But
they're letting the algorithm control them, not us. We'll continue to get 2 views and say the most basic things that everyone agrees with.
And both of those are me and Michael. Corey doesn't even watch his own shit. Well, 3. No. Brenda's mom is a fan.
Yeah, so, Brenda's mom is a fan.
Shout out to Brenda's mom.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I even thought about it this episode. This may not be the best written TV that there is out there, but it's like, this is perfectly serviceable, and I don't mind watching it every week. As someone who historically has an issue watching TV, I struggle to watch TV. I just don't care.
It is, as someone with like intense ADHD, I know if I'm watching a show and I don't look at my phone, that show's good as hell. Like, I can watch an episode of this and hardly ever glance at my phone. Noah Hawley knows what he's doing, man. He knows how to grab you.
Yeah, also, I think, the struggle that this show has, and I don't mind. I do not mind weekly episodes. I enjoy it, but a lot of people over the past few years have become accustomed to binging, whether waiting for a season to end or the entire season drops. So when you do a weekly release, that is something that will work against you depending on your audience. I'm in the camp. I like that weekly break as much as I want. It gives me something to look forward to. So but I might be in the minority with that.
I'm right there with you because I was looking forward to the Futurama release yesterday.
Oh yeah,
and
right.
Yeah, they're like, hey, new Futurama season debuts, and I had an alarm set and everything, and we started watching it. I think like 3 minutes after it aired. But I was so disappointed because when I clicked on it, it's the entire season.
Yeah,
and I was like,
they've done.
The previous season, I think they did weekly, and we tuned in every week. Like we love Futurama in this house, so we did it every single week. In this one, we're both like, man, that sucks, because like now I don't know when I'm gonna watch it. Am I like, what day of the week do I pick? It's hard to find a day of the week. But anyways, that aside, so on to Xenomorph.
Futurama.
Yeah, no one will know why we just said Futurama. That may or may not make it in the edit.
I hope your episode starts and I just say that.
Yeah, we just started talking about
Tourette's
Futurama.
About random animations on Hulu.
Yeah,
he has Tourette's and a Matt Groening focus.
Yeah. So this episode, we get we do get rewarded a lot in this episode. Kirsch, this is the first time that Kirsch is openly helping the children, was one of the things that I noted. Because before he hasn't been helping the kids, he's just not been helping Cavalier, was a note that I took.
He's been allowing things to play out unless he already set stuff up to fail. Again, like, the fly door just breaking for no fucking reason.
Yeah. And the whole episode, we end up getting rewarded because we find out at least potentially that Kirsch is not against Boy Cavalier. They did like a double, psych out with him actively helping them for the sake of stopping Morrow. I think was because I wasn't expecting it until the shot where they showed the net go over the chest burster, and I was like, we didn't see who shot that. Could be anyone. And then in the next scene, they show that Kirsch caught it, and it's like, okay, I wasn't expecting this turnaround until they didn't show anyone shoot the net.
I'm slow.
Like, that's an interesting choice.
It took me until the very end of Kirsch's last scene for me to be like, oh, I guess he does still work for Boy Cavalier. But up until the very last second, I was like, is he working for one of the other companies or something? But that was a lot of Boy Cavalier employees who were behind him.
We may still be surprised because Kirsch is playing the long con, and every time it looks like he's got a certain angle, especially over the past couple episodes, it shifts slightly, and you start to second guess him and go, "What are you up to?" So it's certainly looking like he was and still is in allegiance to Boy Cavalier. Did they ever say if he was a Hyperdyne synthetic, or is he a Prodigy synthetic?
It would have been an episode 1 thing, so I do not remember. I don't know if they've ever addressed that, like episode 1 or 2. It'd be worth looking up, though.
I mean, the fact that Boy Cavalier has the synthetic hybrid, I would think that he had developed his own synthetic, and that he wouldn't outsource a hybrid body that he is going to try to make money off of. So I just assume that Kirsch is a different type of synthetic than the Hyperdyne ones that were being used by Weyland Yutani.
Yeah, he's hopefully not just like jailbroken.
I think my favorite thing...
my Verizon Kirsch is jailbroken. I can't use them to full capacity.
I think my favorite thing in the entire fucking episode was like really early. It was when, like, they set up the flies to be what I thought was going to be a threat, and then they like stun them. They stun them and incapacitate them in seconds, and then you see them picking them up in a fucking dustpan.
Dustpan.
That's amazing. It's so.
Really, it doesn't. They're not scared of it for humans. They're like, oh, it doesn't go after humans. It only goes after like metal and whatever.
Yeah. I mean, one of the other kind of like, we'll see if it's a psych out or not, but they showed a fly spit all over one of the control boxes
right near the door,
and that didn't seem to lead to anything, at least not yet. But I was literally like today or yesterday listening to a podcast that was commenting about Star Wars, and I think also Star Trek, where like one of the primary solutions to get past a highly secured door is to shoot the panel, and it always works. And they're like, you're telling me that like you have all of this high-tech stuff, but the easiest way to get through the door is to shoot the thing that controls it. Always, like, without fail, opens the door.
That's a Star Wars trope, that when you wanted to stop the door from someone accessing it, you'd close the door and then you'd shoot the control panel, so then it would no longer react. So usually that would like.
I thought it was reversed, so I must have misheard them, because I thought it was that they shoot it to open the door. Yeah.
Whatever convenient.
Yeah, it depends on the writing.
Door panel. But that was a great scene, because it's a weird bit of humor, but like, what do you use? Like, why does everything have to be high tech? This is cassette futurism, so there is like a basicness to everything. Everything, things are still functional. That is the largest dustpan I think I've ever seen.
Hey, they got to clean up a lot of messes there.
Yeah,
I mean, that goat. We see how much that goat poops, so you need a big dustpan.
It's a sheep. A sheep that is the goat. We've covered this.
It is the goat.
Yeah. The sheep is the goat. We've covered
the sheep is the goat.
But the species is still a sheep.
But it's still the goat.
And you're embarrassing me. By not knowing your farm animals. I'm gonna get you one of those things.
You're the one.
Things.
You're the
one of those things with the arrow that you spin. And make
Zach, you live in the woods with Bigfoot, and you don't know what a sheep is.
Well, that's because sheep live on a farm in Cornville, where Mike lives. There's a difference. Why do you think the forest of New England is the same like a farm in wherever the fuck he is, Iowa? They're not mutually exclusive, Corey.
I thought they were the same thing.
Whatever, go fucking pet a gator or something. Whatever you got down in Florida.
So while we're on the critters, I guess we can talk about them a bit more. For starters, Mike, you finally got your wish.
Yeah,
you did. Yeah, we have the girl with the Xeno proper.
She has a xenomorph dog.
Yeah.
It was as
It
great
comes
as
when
I
she
thought
calls.
it would be.
Yeah. It is interesting color scheme on this one.
Yeah. It's almost like marble.
Yeah, he's a tabby.
A little tabby, a little calico.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if it's a male calico, then that one's worth a lot of money. They don't have a lot of them.
Also, this episode proves all animals love head rubs, no matter what they are.
Yep, we learned that.
Bloody
Dana
head
came down
rubs.
later on in that episode, and she saw Wendy reaching out towards the xenomorph. She's like, "Oh, look at that! He's doing the stupid Jurassic World thing, isn't he?"
Oh my god.
Like, yeah, the Owen Grady thing. Yep, that's right.
Yeah, I'm not entirely against it. At this point, they took 2 episodes to lead up to that. But even so, starting off, like, before the escape, I love the scene where Wendy's, like, walking out of the science area, and, you know, the guards try to stop her, and she says something like, you know, please get out of my way, or please let me leave, and then without hesitation communicates with the Xeno, and it bonks its head up against the glass. And it's like, that is... Boy Cavalier, you know, I like how hype he is because he's so fucking dumb. Because for me, if someone had done that, I was like, all right, well, you're getting discontinued here very soon. You know, because that's a threat right there. She's like, hey, I can use this thing.
Yeah, and this is like when the hubris starts to hit Boy Cavalier. Because it's like oh, shit, well, we need to find the other kids. Oh, we can't? Uh-oh. Yeah.
And then, you know, she lets the Xeno out. That's a really solid scene. I like their combination of CGI and live action. Like, from the security camera perspective, it's CGI. And then when it's in the room, it's practical. You know, I think that's very smart.
How do you guys feel about the suit? A lot of people are trash talking the suit online, and I love it.
I think, I mean, it looks great. It looks like a xenomorph. I think... you know, inside. Still, my only big complaint about this is it's bright. Like, that's my complaint about the series, but it's not as bright as television that I have seen and that I'm aware of. It is darker. I think I commented that it kind of looks more like a Marvel movie, where Marvel is not very bright, but it's also not very dark. You know, it's leaning more towards dark, but everything is still perfectly visible. But with the suit, you can see most of it, but in this one, that shows you just how much they're hiding. Because they never show you the full Xeno. It's always like, you know, waist up, or it's kneeling behind bushes. Like, there's bushes in between the camera and the Xeno. And it's normal hiding stuff. They know where their flaws are. I think the suit looks great. It doesn't look like the alien from '79, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So.
The whole thing is like, a lot of people are like, oh, it's not dark. You're supposed to hide the xenomorph. At this point, we all know what a fucking xenomorph is. We've seen the xenomorph hundreds, thousands of times. Like, if you put them in, like, the dark, it's like, ooh, I can barely make it out. It doesn't have the same effect as it did in the 70s. We know what the Giga design looks like.
And we already did that. We did that for the first couple episodes, and I think how Corey, you and I may have discussed it. Maybe it was the third episode when Mike joined us, but they have to handle the xenomorph differently. This isn't a 2-hour film where you have the setup, the execution, the fear, the withdrawal, but then the triumphant return and then beating whatever the big bad is. You can't do that over an 8-episode arc, so you're going to use the xenomorph much differently. I think, does the suit look to the same level of the original Aliens design? It's not as creepy, in my opinion, and looks a little bit more fake. But I think that's one. Of course you
would.
Yeah,
it'd help you with your sleep apnea.
I have
kissed you.
I got an image I'm going to send our group chat later. Don't you worry. Too late. You've jogged my memory. So I think, it is a little bit light, which does detract from it. But it still is a creepy looking alien. The back spines are definitely a little bit smaller than usual. It's a little bit different design.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I mean, I don't know. It's just slightly different. Like, everyone comes in different shapes and sizes. These ones are different shapes and sizes and colors. I don't think it looks bad. If you want to take, what is peak xenomorph suit? Is it Aliens or Alien?
I still prefer Alien over the Scorpion, or not? Is it Scorpion? What they call them?
They made it look like the Scorpion in the second
2?
one.
Yeah. So, sure, they're kind of badass, but there's something to me that's more unnerving about the sleek one, where it fits more in the shadows. Where in Aliens, they look badass, but
those are supposed to be,
still
I think,
prefer the first one.
Older ones when they look a little bit more Scorpion-like with the cranium bumps. If that's your perfect opinion, if that's like a 10, like top tier, I would have this at about a 7 or 8. It's not bad. Looks pretty good at times. And there's a few times where I go, all right, it's not at peak Alien. But I have seen far worse alien, not necessarily xenomorph, but just creature designs. The original Predator design, fucking awful. Go look that up. All right? There are far worse alien creature.
For listeners, not the one that we all saw on screen, but the one that never got seen. That was
God. Originally Jean-Claude Van Damme hyperventilating and passing out due to the lack of oxygen and too much coke. If you go look up the original Predator design before you had the mouth mandibles, it looks the fucking awful. Mouth. I think this is like a good 7 or 8 out of 10 if we're doing that.
Yeah, aesthetically, I'm digging it. To Mike's point, I think one of the reasons why it's so easy for me to continue liking it is because of the whole. You can see it, there's a part of me that's against it because, again, I love, the OG and even Aliens are very dark movies. Prometheus, Covenant kind of do similar things with them being very dark movies. And again, it is still my preference, but I don't think they're doing anything wrong with this being brighter. It's just a new thing to see. And you do get to appreciate the fact that it is a practical effect. Like, you're looking at a dude in a suit. And sure, you can argue the point of how maybe certain things can be done a little bit better with CG. But I don't know, as weird as it is, watching a dude leap out of a tree onto a soldier, that's great.
That is good.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Also, it really is convenient that this xenomorph is green to be running around a jungle.
Yeah.
How did he know? How did he know to put
how did he know?
How did he know? How did he know that these guys are trained assassins that shoot as well as stormtroopers that can't hit a fucking creature that's 8, 9, 10 feet tall?
This xenomorph is like every other guy at Walmart, just wearing camo for no reason, just in case.
Just in case I got
you never know.
In the jungle? What?
You never know. The predator can pounce at any time. You got to be ready. But yeah, no, the suit's great. I enjoyed where it's going. I love the attack scene. That was marvelous.
Both of them. You know, they both
in
were,
the science lab, and then especially the military. And I like, to me, it is, so still on the topic of like CG and practical and like the look of the suit. It is so much more believable to me when you see a real tail whip and then like the CG leg fall off.
Exactly. That whole whip and Nene was incredible.
Yeah, it's like I liked it. You see the dude, and like the dude was still alive for a second. He's like, ah, you know, it's so much more fun. I'm glad we didn't get to see the orgy, inside. Like I'm glad we didn't have to sit through all of that. That might have been weird, but seeing this is like a reward to that.
I missed that.
The orgy in episode 3. The weird whatever they were doing.
They're cowards, so they won't put an orgy in every episode.
Oh, yeah,
come on.
Yeah.
The only thing
I downloaded the wrong episode.
The only thing I'll say against the show's effects is they need more practical gore, because CGI gore does absolutely nothing for me. It has no shock value at all to me. Like that CGI blood splatter effect, it does nothing to me.
Exactly. Really shoot a guy. Really make him bleed.
Come on.
Really have a chest burster come out.
Bring back squibs. Bring them back.
Squids. Fucking squibs.
Yeah, bring back the fake limbs full of pig intestines. Just bring back that shit. Come on. Even just for like a shot or two.
Oh yeah. I think they could go for more of that. Hopefully, like if we do get a season 2 that doesn't suck, they will add more practical effects. Speaking of the effects, like right before probably like 7:55, I'm just farting around on the internet, and there I happened to pass by photos of like the VFX supervisor. And that guy looks like he is in fucking heaven. He has the biggest shit-eating grin on his face, and like all of these sets and stuff. Yeah, and I'm like, man, it would be awesome to be that guy. Like no disrespect for people who work on CG, but like I think we all have seen where companies cut budgets so that the CG is worse, so that like what you're producing looks like shit. So I'm glad that they're paying a guy to mess with real things that just look so much better than like, Boba Fett, The Mandalorian, where everyone's just acting in front of a screen.
Because like I said, I know it's going to be super gross when that little squid thing, my goat, rips out a human's eyeball and replaces it.
Well, it's going to happen now.
But it also
confirmed
won't be that gross, because it's all going to be CGI and like
yeah,
like a CGI. It's going to throw a CGI eyeball. There's going to be CGI blood effects. It's like,
don't sell them short. They may find someone that doesn't have an eye.
Well,
that would be
CGI blood.
Fucking awesome.
But like
they pop in a glass eye that's like right in.
I would love a practical effect like that, because I can tell you, like, seeing someone's eyeball get gouged out in CGI does not do nearly as much to gross me out as stupid as it looks.
Actually watching somebody dig an eye out of their head, I can imagine.
Let me finish! In Total Recall, when Arnold's eyes are like, and he's like,
oh yeah.
Like, as dumb as that is, it's so fucking gross. It's hard to watch.
Effective. Yeah.
I hope they bring in the Total Recall Arnold puppet, and that's what they use.
Reuse that dummy.
Yeah.
And then his eyes just popping out. Great.
You know what show actually had some of the grossest eye shit I've seen recently? And you wouldn't see this coming. that Dark Crystal Netflix reboot. It was...
Never watched it.
There's a part where they're like, trial by stone, and they have this machine that rips out one of the sexy's eyeballs, and it was so gross, because it's a puppet, and it's all practical. This puppet getting its eye, like, pulled out. You see
There's
the tendons,
just stuffing
like,
everywhere.
It's,
No, cotton.
But anyway.
Well, since we're talking about the eye, so when Boy Cavalier and Kirsch are like, Boy Cavalier finally comes in, actually towards the beginning, and they're like, oh yeah, it's kind of safe now. Kirsch locks up the eggs and they get the flies taken care of. And he's like, it was an accident. Oh, it was no accident. What do you mean? Check the tape. And then they watch the tape of the sheep orchestrating everything that happened, and Boy Cavalier's like, oh, great. Well, we're going to move this out of this secure facility and move it someplace else. So,
into, like, his bedroom or something.
Yes.
In a little dog kennel.
As like you would. If you've got a sheep with a parasite coming out of its skull, you want it in a little kennel in your bedroom.
And
Exactly. That's where I'd put it.
Why they were setting up, well, maybe not anymore, because it seems like he changed his mind, but it seemed like that's why they were setting up the mold guys, is because they were going to have one of them come in and get their eyeball ripped out.
Yeah,
that was another reward, is like they finally acknowledged the mold guys.
They did, finally.
Other than, they're apparently very dumb, and they just take care of the mold, because it's human. And so Boy Cavalier is just interacting with the sheep, and he's trying to measure how intelligent it is. So he writes the first 3 numerical digits of pi, 3.14. Like, this is the basis of all science and math, and any, I forget which words he uses, but advanced, species will understand pi, which I guess would translate to another species, maybe?
Anyone who's totally based will understand pi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
He asks the sheep, like, what are the next 3 numbers? And the sheep does 1, and then I forget what happens after that.
5.
Like
7,
5, and then
oh my god, you don't know all the digits of pi?
And then
That's
shits.
cringe. Yeah. And then takes a big fat dump.
Yep.
What a king. Queen, sorry.
Honestly, I wish
I
that could have
misgendered the
worked for
squid.
me in school.
Word from me.
So then after that, he's like, oh, I wish you could talk. Oh, and then Adam is there, and Adam's like, no. It'd be a horrible fucking idea. Why would you do that? He's like, no,
he's like, I'm here to remind you.
It's fine. Don't worry. We really should put it into human. So Adam's like, okay, I guess I'll put a list together, as he just dismisses himself, and then Boy Cavalier gets a brilliant idea of who the perfect person is. So we're going to go, who is it going to be? I have a suspicion it's going to be Dame, but that's just me.
Yeah, and so real quick, because there's not a lot of attention drawn to it, like Adam is leaving, and Boy Cavalier, it's like his own quick idea. He's like, oh, I have an idea, and then they cut to the forest.
Away.
Yeah, with Hermit leading the 2 girls, and it's one of those where like Hermit is so far out of the screen that it's like my mind says Dame, but one of the cheap things that a lot of shows and movies do is when someone says something, the next person you see is the person who's like relevant to what they say. Yeah. So but it could even not be Dame, because they're talking about getting someone who's like stupid but can communicate, but he says he has an idea. I don't know how vengeful he would be against Dame, but like, I don't know what else could they try?
Well,
would it be a person?
My first thought was going to be Hermit, but again, not knowing where it was going to end, I was like, well, Hermit's not there. I mean, granted they don't know Hermit's not there. I was like, well, it can't be him, so maybe he's going to go after Dame. But at the same time, if he did do that, he wouldn't necessarily know if he would still have somebody around to operate and save, the kids and program the kids. So, in a theory, it probably would be more like Hermit or someone like that than Dame. But at the time, I was going, who else is left on the campus? Dame's the only one that we fucking know. unless we're going to introduce some new stupid character, and it is Mold Guy. He's just Boy Cavalier's just talking it up.
Everyone's favorite character, Mold Guy. Mold Guy.
Mold Guy.
He's the best.
He's in almost every episode.
Yeah.
It's too bad they didn't have a Mold Guy on the spaceship in episode 5. Just like in the background somewhere, spraying a corner.
Just molding.
I can't wait to get my Mold Guy Funko Pop when this series is done.
Oh man, complete with mold. So other critters that have to be mentioned, and also tying into the writing, I really loved what they did with Arthur and the Facehugger, because like the kids are hauling him the whole time, and then they do the quick shot of like the kids hide behind the bushes because there are soldiers walking by. And, the camera pans to the right and then, like, pans back to the left. And in a comedic fashion, he's not there. And they look like 2 feet into the foliage. It's like, he's gone.
And this is slightly in Smee.
Shmee.
They're synthetics. They shouldn't be struggling with a body. That's just the limitations of your physical actors having to haul a physical body around. But, they should be able, Slightly should be able to just pick him up and carry him. Because we see at the end how powerful they are when they want to be. They can wreck house. But, Arthur then wakes up, kind of like in the original film, with really no recollection of anything. Which even earlier back in the compound, Slightly was still under he's just going to have a bad couple of days because that's what Morrow said. So he's trying to feed him.
He's trying to give him water and he's choking. Horrible.
Oh, yeah. That was so funny.
Nah, you don't get none of that shit in here, and chokes him out so that he regurgitates it back up.
Vomits everything out.
Yep. No, but I'm going to feed you.
Him being so confused. I like their stupid story about they're building it, and it can only work in this moment where this guy is still out of it mentally. Because they're like, there was an emergency, and he's like, what emergency? I don't know. The other one's like, a gas leak, and he's like, a gas leak.
Yeah, really messes with your memory.
Ends with him finally. Finally him saying oh, you guys saved my life. Thank you so much. And I think Slightly just tells him, he's like, we just have to go over here. I don't think he says anything specific.
Well, he says everyone's down at the beach and your wife is waiting for you.
He's
like, oh, okay. And off they go.
And again, with the editing, the quick flashes are doing a great job of letting us know what is going through his mind, and he's coming to. And that whole bit there is so wholesome because he comes to, and then he's like, you don't have to do this. He goes through that whole thing, and it is breaking down Slightly and ruining him and kind of fucking with Shmee as well. And of course, he takes Shmee by the hand and they kind of start walking away, and he's so calmly, and it feels very natural. His voice is so light. Obviously he just had his throat constricted for a while, and he's still kind of out of it.
Lack of oxygen.
But he just reaches out towards Slightly and says, we're going to be okay. And it's oh, shit. I know it's about to happen.
You knew what's going to happen.
Yeah, as soon as he says that.
He even alluded, earlier about how, him and Dame are, kind of they think of them as their kids, or he's, the parent, and it's it's okay. We'll be fine. We're all going to get through this.
Yeah.
And as soon as that was all, we know. We've seen the movies. It's when the facehugger detaches, you don't have much time. But typically, within 20 minutes, half hour, definitely an hour, you're fucked. That's typically what happens.
Okay, with the kids,
we haven't touched on Hermit and Wendy and Nibs and why they are gone.
Yeah, so they leave because set up in the previous episode where Hermit's trying to save Wendy, aka Marcy, which I like that he's using her name a lot more now. Hey, one of the things that we finally get to see, because we mentioned in episode 1, like, are the kids still alive or are they dead? And we finally see the headstones.
They are very much dead and gone.
Yeah. And I do not imagine that Boy Cavalier is the kind of person that would still leave the kids alive somewhere and do headstones. Like, I feel like they are dead.
That was not him. That was Dame.
That was Dame. Damon Arthur.
Yeah, that's them that did that. Out in the middle of the woods under a giant tree or whatever the fuck that was.
It was under kind of like an
overhang.
A rock face that kind of overhangs, which I think is a really cool area. It's weird to see those in person. It's such an interesting like structure of nature. So I think that's kind of a neat spot. But also probably in a way hidden so that Boy could never fuck with them. You know?
Yeah.
Like kind of hidden, kind of not hidden. Yeah.
I think about stories like this way different than playing. I don't know if you've ever heard of the video game Soma. Have you ever heard of it before?
Yeah. Yep.
It's a game about a human who puts his brain into a robot body. And the whole game is about dealing with... Because you are constantly in this robot body also switching your mind to other robot bodies. But then you look back at your previous body and you see it being like torn apart by monsters and it's still screaming. And you're like, what the fuck? And it eventually... It deals with the fact that like when you transfer your brain to another body, there's like a coin toss. Is your consciousness going to continue in that body, or are you going to be in the previous body still? Are you going to be like wake up in the other body with all the old memories, or are you going to be that body that just fucking dies? So in a way, if it's following Soma rules, these kids are just dead. They died when they became robots.
Yeah, you know that the ending to that game is
depressing,
incredibly sad. Because like the character that you play doesn't understand a fucking thing until the very end. Like we as the player are like constantly going along, and then you get to the end and you're like, oh fuck, it is what I thought it was. And then it just I'm not going to spoil it, but go play Soma. It's a good game.
So speaking of looking inwards, this seems to be the first time that Wendy's starting to react now. This is when she truly realizes that they're not very safe. Like being so close to the body.
Yeah, seeing Toodles in melted pieces and
that was the start.
Yeah, so she said, "Oh, I have to tell the others," and Boy Cavalier stops her, and it's like, "No, you don't want to cause a panic." And then he kind of like drowns out a little bit in the background until he says, something, don't want people to think that you're not safe. And then she's like, "We're not safe." Oh
yeah,
and then that's what kind of sets her on her mission to get the rest of the Lost Boys, and
seeing
she goes forward from there,
seeing the bodies, because they knew that they had old bodies, and this is probably, it sounds exactly like what you were saying, where the realization doesn't hit until she sees the markers for all of them.
Yeah,
because now it's like, oh, we're dead. Like,
and
I am a child.
A little bit longer, too, which it was good that they kind of established that. Yeah.
So, but in this moment, Nibs seems the least affected, which was surprising.
Yeah. She's kind of broken right now.
Oh yeah.
She's like flipping back and forth. Because when they leave, Curly decides to stay. But Nibs also is going, I don't want to be here anymore. Something's not right.
Yeah, but
Nibs also gets the gnarliest kill of the whole episode.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Mortal Kombat fatality.
Yeah, that is a good way of putting it. Man,
that's how she starts the altercation, is a straight fatality.
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of like, this part is a bit dumb on their part, but we don't know who's... I think it's safe to assume that the people who concocted this were Hermit's friends, like the two who were hiding inside the boat. The main two, the girl with the red hair and the other guy. Because this is not well thought out. Like, they don't want to damage the robots, but they're all carrying, like, automatic weapons. Yeah, and it's like, you should have had tasers at the ready.
But
but they have bullets as well.
Yeah, but we don't know how I'm suspecting that the taser is going to do more fucking damage than the bullets will.
But difference, because the taser could be like an electrical. I understand that. You know, the bullets would be destroying the hardware, which would obviously piss off Boy Cavalier, who didn't seem too concerned about Toodles.
Well, yes and no. He did ask about, like, the reboot process. Yeah.
If I can make a slight criticism of the writing, I think this show's writing is great. One criticism. I hate the trope of guns that conveniently have a stun function in sci-fi. Star Wars is the first one to be guilty. You never see those fucking stormtrooper rifles do that stun thing with the blue circles ever fucking again after that Princess Leia scene in the beginning. It's like, why would that plasma rifle have a fucking stun function? They're explosive rounds like assault rifles. I'm just saying, there's other more clever ways they could have incapacitated Nibs than just a magical stun function on this kill rifle, on this Killmonger rifle.
Kick her into the ocean. She's gonna sink.
Yeah, or something like that.
You know, it leads to, they have like 30 people on the dock who literally can't do anything.
And they also came out
They cannot fire. Yeah, that was dumb, and I'm willing to let that go. It's like, y'all are hiding nowhere. And because they gave us, I want to rewatch it because they gave us a really clear shot of that dock, I thought. But then these 30 people appear, and it's like, why? What are you going to do? You cannot fire a single bullet because you have 4, 5 squad members there. Like, completely ignore any other rules or recommendations about, like, not harming the merchandise. But you can't pull the trigger because your friends are there.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally a waste. There's no reason for you to be there because you cannot use your weapons.
You could have shown up with 5 people. Your 2 main people come out of the boat, another 3 on the dock that come running around just to be on the dock. That would have been fine. I think, that was a little bit of overkill.
It was a little goofy.
Now I kind of, between that and the, also where we find out the shit going on with Kirsch, it does make me wonder, where the hell has all the security been? We see a couple patrols here and there of 2 to 4 people. You know, this is where they've been. They just literally been in a holding tank ready to spring out when needed.
It does make last episode pulling Hermit away for duty kind of less believable, because it's like, you've got probably about 100 security. There's so many security in all of these scenes. In the Moro scene, in the boat scene, there seems to be a lot of security that came out of nowhere.
But also nowhere all at the same time.
Yeah. But it does pay off the Hermit conversation, which, again, this episode does have a lot of payoffs where he is talking to the girl, and she wasn't dumb, because in that episode, she's like, whatever you're talking about, stop it. She's like, just stop it. We got a good thing going. And she knew deep down inside what was going to happen. And I guess managed to coerce Boy Cat. I don't know. Like, that's another weird thing, is how did she get that many people without Boy Cavalier's approval, who doesn't seem to be aware of what's happening? Because he would have to know what's happening if she's like, hey, I know Boy Cavalier's going to escape, so give me extra people. like, he would have to put together, like, okay, well, I can't contact Wendy or anyone else, so I get what's going on now. You know, he would have put two and two together. So how did she get, like, 30 guys to come out under Boy Cavalier's nose? Like, without anyone else knowing?
I think a lot of this can be explained away with Boy Cavalier being a complete moron who's up his own ass.
It's true. You are right. I am giving him a lot of...
Yeah, I think he is smart in certain ways, clearly, because he's made money and his investments and he's helped create stuff. But this episode kind of shows that he's an idiot making stupid decisions with how he handles trying to deal with Wendy and the Lost Boys, of how he tries to lock down the facility, how he moves the sheep into his private sex dungeon bedroom so that he can talk to it. You know, he's making all sorts of bad decisions. So I think he's smart, but not in the grand, but he's making a lot of dumb decisions for actual
it's
context.
like the intelligence versus wisdom thing. Yeah. So, yeah, overall, I think the one note that I haven't really touched on, well, two notes. One, I do like that a lot of people are blaming Dame for stuff because Curly and Boy Cavalier blame her for stuff, which, once again, it is so funny because it seems like she's just the same person from Babadook. Like, roughly the same thing where everyone is blaming her for everything and it's out of her control.
I mean, well, she did fuck up a little bit. She kind of screwed her husband. You know, she did. Yeah. She did say that she could handle this all on her own. So by the time
but she didn't realize
fired, like, she didn't realize that was going to happen. I mean, but she kind of set that up. I mean, you kind of, at this point, you understand the company that you work for. This didn't just come out of the blue. You know that they are cutthroat and that they're going to fire people and keep things hush hush. So you knew there was a possibility that your husband would be fired, especially when you say, "Yeah, I can do this by myself." Because then what are you going to do? You're going to try and be like, "No, I need him." Well, you just told me that you can do it by yourself, so you're lying to me.
She's kind of a dumbass. she definitely got her husband killed.
Mike.
Oh, yeah.
She deserves it. She deserves to have the situation she's in right now. It's like, God, you are spineless. You're completely spineless.
You know what? Next episode, we might find out that Curly kills her. Because Curly is now also kind of wrestling with the idea of, well, Nibs is broken. Curly kind of blames Wendy, also suspecting that things aren't right. And she's trying to keep the secret that Nibs and Wendy and Hermit took off, but she may have told Dame. We don't know, but
Curly's gonna hold Dame in place while she gets de-eyeballed. Mark my words.
That is going to be Hermit. A lot of people are not walking away with this, away from this episode or season.
I guess it's kind of a good closing-ish topic. I'm pretty sure I said it in the first episode, but I don't think anyone can survive this. And while this is soft lore, logistically, it seems like if anyone does survive, barring maybe Wendy surviving and then pretending to go live as a real human, if there's a whole lot of people, if they survive, their survival will be linked to other, like, the creatures, and them inevitably finding a way off the island, which would just be bad for the Earth entirely, and that would be wholly against alien lore. With the understanding this is a soft, soft sequel. But I just don't foresee. I'm really also kind of hoping that everything goes to shit in the next episode and that everyone dies. Like, I don't need a positive outcome.
So there has been, I think, one of the big, critics seem to enjoy the series. The audience seems to be a little split, and some of it is because of the messing with the lore, which the books, I haven't read many of the books and only a little bit of the comics here and there, so I don't know how much goes they go into the backstory. But again, when we look at Alien, the original movie, Weyland-Yutani was somehow aware of the possibility of these things, of these life forms, because it was built into the protocol for Mother and for Ash to take certain protocols to kick in. So this just alludes to the idea that there is something that they know. Not that they necessarily had an alien, not that they had all these different species. They, to my knowledge, again, I have not dived into the deep prequel books or anything, but we knew after they expanded the IP that Weyland-Yutani knew some shit, and they just wanted it. That's what the whole first two movies, even the third movie, is about. They know about it. They just have yet to get one.
Yeah, and the one thing that I really don't know is if any of that IP is on Earth. I feel like Earth can't be fully overtaken because Weyland-Yutani is still, like, even in Resurrection, Weyland-Yutani is a part of that. I guess they can move off Earth.
Off Earth. I mean, Ripley leaves from Earth, to go on her mission. So, I mean, maybe something happened, post when she left and she's coming back. Because it's only 2 years prior. Alien, she would have been coming back, but you would think that by the time Aliens came around, that, but again, she doesn't go to Earth. They could be lying, be like, oh yeah, Earth is fine. Completely overrun. We don't fucking know.
Because that's kind of my point, is like,
lives on a space station.
Yeah, barring the people who want to remain hidden, I don't imagine anyone can survive this because, as I've said several times, Cavalier never comes up again. Prodigy is never mentioned anywhere.
Why?
It seems like, and it is on an island. And I think that is like the perfect setup. It's the long con because this is the first time that the alien has had so much space. It's always in a ship. When we got a little bit.
But why would they bring that up? Why would they bring that up in Alien? Why would they bring that up in Aliens? Everything is Weyland-Yutani based. They're off-world. They're across the universe. But they wouldn't. They wouldn't have any reason to bring that shit up.
Yeah, I think the island is supposed to be like the big ship. It's the largest ship that anyone's been on at this point. And I think that's supposed to be like, the Omen. Boy Cavalier wants everything to be done in this private space. And if everyone dies, again, barring people who are trying to hide from anyone else ever finding them, some type of story like that, I think everyone dying would be kind of an epic ending, and still more like the original Alien, or any particular Alien film, because again, they all happen on a fairly small scale.
Yeah, it's not universe ending. So is that your premonition
prediction
of what you think is going to happen? Your prediction, Corey?
And
what do you?
What
you're going to go with? Because we kind of got to do predictions here.
Yeah, I mean, this is it.
Well,
so I think
season 2. So I mean,
it's been in talks, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be directly connected. It could be a fucking American Horror Story style anthology. We don't know.
Yeah, they'll be in a clown house next time.
Oh God! Here comes Christy.
I mean, no one really does like anthologies. It's possible.
Yeah, I like the idea of this kind of ending here, as much as I would like to see a lot of these characters in the future. All of the acting is great. I think this was a really good episode for Timothy Oliphant's character. Him and Shmi, like, I was kind of heartbroken by Shmi. His reactions to everything that was happening. I was like, God damn, I feel so bad for him. He's the only character I feel bad for at this point.
He's the only one who's
he's purely innocent.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's just there, just wanting to be with his best buddy. And he's like, oh, there's a thing wrapped around his face. Okay, I'll help you.
Like, I'm on Wendy's side, but even when she released the Xenomorph, I was like, that's a little harsh.
You're crazy. Yeah. Like, you're a sociopath now.
People. I know you're questioning humanity's, position, but, go eat their face, doggy.
Everyone except Shmi survives. That's my prediction.
everyone but Shmi survives?
Oh, I'm sorry. In reverse, everyone but Shmi dies. Shmi is the only the only survivor.
He lives on the
Because I
island
think
for
that
the
would
rest
be
of
the
eternity
saddest. Yeah, it would be the saddest possible ending.
with a little volleyball friend.
I was going to say Shmi survives, but then Tom Hanks washes up on the island and just starts talking to him.
Man, we circled right back to Tom Hanks. Opened with Tom Hanks.
That's right.
Closing with Tom Hanks.
Close with Tom Hanks.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks
Mike,
Ouroboros.
Mike, how do you think?
The worst kind of Ouroboros.
I really hope it ends with the brother and sister. I'm so bad with names. Wendy and
Hermit
and Wendy.
Wendy and Hermit. I hope it ends with them living in seclusion, alone, having whatever time they have left as a family. That's how their story ends.
Watching fucking Ice Age and all of its sequels.
I don't think a good ending is coming for anyone else. I think mostly everyone else is fucked. I loved when Timothy Olyphant was like, "You both are grounded" at the end.
Yes.
You boys are grounded.
Yeah.
Timothy Olyphant, his character rocks. His character is doomed, but I'm going to be sad when he goes. Hold on to him. Don't kill him this season. Reconsider for season 2. You might be able to bring him back.
He has to fight Moro, and I think they're both going to die.
No.
I feel like that's the outcome, is that he and Moro are going to kill each other. They are...
I don't think it'll even get to that.
So what do you think, Zach?
So I think...
only the eye survives?
That's it.
He just face fucks everyone?
Oh, I'm going to wear you like a hat. I think Wendy is going to have to make a choice because she is deeply connected to the xenomorph. And she, in some way, shape, or form, she's going to have to choose between her brother, who just electrocuted Nibs and may have killed Nibs, we don't know, and the xenomorph. Because Wendy is losing her shit at the end of that episode. After her and Nibs go ham on the fucking soldiers, and Nibs is about to kill Hermit's friend, so he shocks her. I think Wendy's going to have to make a choice.
Yeah.
If anyone is getting off the island, I think it might be Wendy or one of the Lost Boys, because the caveat is going to be they're only living 2 years. And then they're going to shut down. Because they have a 2-year battery life.
I have an insane theory. Tell me if you guys like this. The true end of the show. I
wasn't done, but that's fine.
The true end of the show, Yutani, she gets her eyeball removed. And it turns out the little squid thing controls Wayland Yutani for the rest of the fucking franchise. Just jumps from one Yutani to another. They put an eye patch over their alien eye.
God, that would be awesome.
I'm not against it. That would be hilarious.
You know what, Mike? You might be right. That might be what Boy Cavalier is going to do. He might send that to Yutani and say, "Here you go.
That would be fucking crazy."
I bet that's just, you know what? That's going to be the stinger at the end of the season. Is going to be everything's going to go to shit, and then we're going to be like, "Where's our eye? What happened to our goat?" And then they show the dead sheep, or the sheep gets mailed to Yutani, and she opens it up, and you just hear, and then some other, not Queens of the Stone Age, but some other rock band from the 90s kicks off, and you're like, "Oh, damn." That's how it'll... So I think there'll be a couple of people that may survive, but it'll be one of those of they're living on borrowed time. Hiding on borrowed time. So
it's no one who survives is going to be happy. That is at least what I'm hoping.
You're not going back to your normal job.
So, another good episode. A little bit slower than I think any of us might have wanted, but a lot of payoff.
I don't mind a slow episode. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
It's telling a story. I'm okay with it.
As long as they nail the ending. So, if anyone wants to listen to y'all's opinions on other things in life, where can they find you?
They can head on over to the Neatcast and download us on all their pod chasers and neatcast.com for the website, where everything is, the store is. We have brief profiles on ourselves, which are in no way accurate. But we have countless episodes with Corey, who has joined us because he's our fallback boy whenever we need somebody. Corey's just like, yep, I can be available. And then he just throws everything out and joins us over there where we talk about pop culture news, weird news. Mike always has something kind of spooky for us, usually a cryptid, an alien, ghosty goo of some kind. And then we play some fun games sometimes, which Mike usually loses, but every once in a while he has won a game.
Is that true?
Yeah. He's actually got, recently, the Neatcast has started.
in our real or fake cryptid title game.
It's true.
Beat him like a drum.
But recently, Mike has started providing mowing tips for people who have never mowed a lawn before in their life. That's been a very interesting journey.
Actually, if you want to get mowing tips, if you go and download a Neatcast episode, you can actually text us, and you can actually text in and say, "Dearest Mike, I heard you on Corey's Burrito podcast. You were exquisite. Could you give me top hot mowing tips?" And Mike will whisper sweet nothings into your ear with his incredibly accurate and inventive mowing tips.
What do you think is worse, mowing the lawn with a push mower or being crucified?
That is a perfectly good question. Someone should text that in. Someone should text that in to the Neatcast. Again, go to your pod chaser and right at the top of the episode say text us. You can ask that question. Mike will answer it.
No one's going to answer it.
And he'll answer it here again next week as well.
Yeah. I just imagine like a 10-year-old Jesus having to go mow the lawn and he's just mumbling to himself, "Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. Father, into your hands, why have you forsaken me?"
He listened to System of a Down? They never explained that in the book. Why was he a System of a Down?
Toxicity of my city. My city.
Okay, yeah, go check out the Neatcast. Jeremy will finally be back next week.
Yeah.
And Eric was there this week. You can find me anywhere you listen to podcasts. The World is My Burrito on any podcatcher. And social media, Twimby Podcast, TWIMB Podcast, or email me, twimbipodcast@gmail.com. I also have a thing where you can text me. I'm pretty sure I changed it to where it is now at the top of my episode instead of the very bottom, like episode description. But I'll have links to everything in the show notes, maybe even this YouTube video, since I always forget that. But yeah, thank you very much for listening.
Send me a little bite.
A little bite.
Little bite.
I'm going to send a dick.
Yeah,
Not
next
anymore,
week,
baby.
it's the finale. We will have another guest on. So looking forward to it. Next week is all podcast week. That's all I'm doing. All week long is podcasting with everyone else.
No
so
editing,
it's going to be a fun
recording.
week. Yeah. No editing. I don't believe in editing.
What's that like?
Mike and I don't know. We've never done it.
But yeah, thanks for listening, and we will see you in a week.
Bye!
Ish.